So, a few weeks ago, I had an awesome conversation with a supplement nutrition lead, trainer, and just a good person, Shay. And I wanted to do like an actual detox shop, but I didn't want to do it by myself, so I got Shay here with me. And here she is. So Shay, we're gonna talk to these people about what we shop for here. I won't say the name of the, actually we can say the name of the location, right?
We
went to Trader Joe's, man. We love Trader Joe's. It's a small supermarket, but if you don't have a Trader Joe's in your neighborhood, you can do the same things that we did here. You're just gonna have to do one major thing. It's read the labels. We'll talk all about it. Here we go.
Watch, we're gonna see.
I love this coat.
Here.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.
All right. So
you want fresh produce, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, so you get your fresh produce that you want.
I guess where I'm thinking about it is from a detox space. What do I need to be concerned about as far as my produce?
Yeah. So you want to look for organic.
Okay.
You can,
Okay.
as much as you can. And I know for some people that'll be off-putting. So they'll be like, does it all have to be organic?
Right.
But you want to try to get organic. For your detox, you're going to focus on fresh fruits and vegetables,
Okay.
Lots of color. So kale, blueberries.
I'm a blueberry guy.
Yeah, lots of berries, antioxidants, also helps fulfill that sweet fix.
Yeah.
For your greens, try not to get things that are kind of void of nutritional content, like iceberg lettuce. That's not really going to accomplish much for you. It's also not going to fill you up or help you when you're feeling a little bit hungry.
We feel good about spinach.
Yeah, we feel great about spinach. All of your dark greens are going to be down here. Keep it organic if you can.
Yep. Organic. We make good green juices with that.
You want to be thinking too on the detox. You want things that are going to help you feel full longer, and help kind of.
Can I get a kiwi?
Yeah, kiwis are great.
I heard a lot about kiwi before at
Actually,
night.
fun fact about the detox.
Okay, I'm listening.
So there's only one fruit that you cannot have on the detox, and it's grapefruit.
It's the grapefruit.
Yeah, and it's because it actually interferes with your detox enzymes. Isn't that wild?
It is.
You can have oranges, any other citrus, not grapefruit.
Here's where I'm always concerned. I get hungry, and I feel like when I eat, I need to eat like 3 meals a day, but it needs to be like pretty filling meals, right? So my protein situation. What's the base of these meals now, since I have to detox off a lot of stuff?
Still going to be chock full of protein.
Okay.
So the detox, that's I think the biggest myth that people don't understand, at least on this detox, is that you're actually focusing on whole fruits and vegetables.
Got it.
Grains, the ones that are approved by detox, so don't have gluten in them.
Okay.
We'll go over that more in depth as well. But protein, you want your protein.
What's the protein? What do we eat?
So we want to do organic, and you really can do almost any protein. Specific fish to avoid. You don't want to get things that are canned.
Okay. Because canned is an issue. Okay.
So for your proteins, what you want to avoid is tuna, swordfish, preservative-laden lunch meats, hot dog, sausage, any canned meats, and you already know you don't want your eggs or whey. So I mean, that actually includes almost everything else. Fresh or frozen fish such as salmon, halibut, sole, mahi-mahi, cod, snapper, organic or pasture-raised chicken, turkey, pork, wild game, venison, buffalo, elk, all good stuff, lamb, grass-fed beef. You want to just basically limit like lunch meats and stuff like that. Yeah.
So organic chicken.
Yep.
Cool.
So here's actually a good example of like if you want to get already seasoned meat and stuff like that, just making sure to go through the label and see exactly what's in it. For example, this one, I say if it's something you can't pronounce or you don't know, you should pretty much eliminate it, even though this is pretty good, actually. Maltodextrin, I'm not entirely sure of what it is, so
that would make you think.
That would make me think twice, yeah. But this is actually a pretty good one, pretty clean label, if you ask me.
I'm looking now. If you feel like it's a pretty good one, and this probably has packed with flavors. This is half a chicken. Oh, this is a whole chicken.
It's like a spatchcock chicken.
Oh, well, I like spatchcock. This looks tiny.
Flattened it. I know, we usually need to get 2 of those for our
Oh my
family.
goodness, I made one, a spatchcock chicken this week. It was fantastic.
I love it.
It was
that way.
fantastic.
Let's go down this aisle. Because I want to give people some staples.
I'm following.
Or not staples, but some quick hacks.
I think, again, like getting clear on like what's actually going in and then how it's serving you. To me, that's the trick, right?
But that's what I think is the slippery slope for everybody.
Yeah.
Like we all, when you start the year out like this, it kind of blows your mind how many things creeped into so many things that you consume on a regular basis, and it just makes this snowball. So by the end of the year, I really believe in the fresh start at the beginning of the year for a detox in particular, because of what a slippery slope it is for all of us. And we're all human too. So, and we're all busy and we all have lives. And so I get that we can't live like this all the time, but that's the beauty and the whole purpose of the reset is to remind us of that and to get us back to that fresh start.
Real quick, pause with me for a second. You've been showing up, putting in the work, starting strong. But somewhere between the start and the result, you lost the thread. It's not that you don't know what to do. It's that life, work, and burnout keep pulling you off track. And every time you restart, it's a little harder to believe that that restart will stick. I know that feeling, and I built something specifically for it. Momentum Mastery is my 12-week cohort. Not a course you buy and you forget, not a challenge that burns you out in a week or two. It's a guided experience with coaching, with community, and with a real structure that fits into your actual life. Each week, we work on one thing, building the habits, systems, and rhythms that keep you moving, even when motivation decides to take a day off. By the end of these 12 weeks, you'll have your own 90-day momentum plan, a rhythm that's yours and something most people never get, proof. Proof that you can stay consistent, proof that you don't need to hustle harder. You just need the right alignment and the right people around you. If that's you, the next cohort is forming right now. The link is in the show notes. Come build momentum on purpose. All right, back to it. But don't sleep on that. The future version of you is already waiting. Okay, so what am I saying?
Hi.
Right. Hi, what's going on? This feels weird because it's like we're on a TV show, but it's
I know. That's why I was like, this is what it's like to be on the Today Show segment.
I actually, funny story, I'll tell another time. I was on Regis and Kelly. It wasn't the kitchen scene, but it was kind of cool. And guess who was the guest host that day? Bam, it was Emerald. So, it feels like a second home to me, you know what I'm saying? To be on the cameras like this. But I'm back here with my good friend, Shay. What's the title? The nutritionist?
Supplement.
Nutrition. Yes. This is the reason why we're doing this is because it's a good one, right? Start of a new year, start of any quarter, start of a month. Detoxing, getting clear on things is a really great way to start. And when we had our conversation around the detox on the podcast episode, I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we actually sort of did a shop and prepared ourselves for what we could actually need in a detox. So the food here is really focused on like the pantry stuffs.
Yes.
Right? The other things, proteins, fruits, and veggies are all things that you could buy. Mm-hmm. Focus on organic there, but none of those things are off limits, right? So beef, pork, chicken, all those things are fine, right? Yep. And then the pantry stuffs are really where the focus is for this conversation. So you got some notes. She's gonna read off her notes because she don't want to get anything wrong. And talk to us. How are we breaking this all up?
Well, so just to start from the top, if you weren't familiar, this is a detox. It's not a diet. Yes, you are eliminating some things. The no list for the detox that we're doing is no gluten, wheat, dairy from a cow, sheep, goat, soy protein or soy, corn, eggs, peanuts, alcohol, sugar, and caffeine. I know that's going to hit hard for some of you. And then grapefruit, believe it or not. Other citrus is fine, but grapefruit in particular inhibits a lot of your detoxifying enzymes in your body. And so that grapefruit for this detox is off limits. So that's the no list.
That's the no list. So it's not a deep no list.
No,
right?
It's not.
Which is pretty, but then what happens is, which was interesting, when we actually did the shop, we saw how many things these ingredients are in so many other things, and that's that's where it makes the no list expand. So
yeah, and I think that's where people get the most caught up. First of all, they think a detox is where you're literally starving yourself. We're not starving at all. You are eating a full, well-rounded diet of whole fruits, vegetables, grains, and tons of protein and healthy fats. So that's really important to note. Where people get caught up the most, I think, is snacks and just general habits. Pantry items are essential to stock up on before your detox and set yourself up for success. And also going through your house and methodically getting things out of the picture for the time being that you're on the detox that you grab habitually and don't realize. We can get more into that later too.
Well, before we get into that, I think you called out something, the habits, right? There's a couple different habits to consider.
Yeah.
One of them is how you shop, right?
Yes.
So the things that you normally pick up or you normally grab or you normally buy, that's where a lot of that consideration has to happen, because habitually these are things you buy and maybe you've never looked at the label. So making it a habit of looking at a label, understanding what a serving is, how many calories come in those servings, how many servings do you actually need to be full, right? Like I love rice, so we'll talk about it when we get there, but organic jasmine rice. Jasmine rice is something that we use in the Caribbean a ton. So you're gonna find rice, but the way we make a plate, 4 or 5 servings of rice is like what is a norm for what was a norm for me growing up. To reduce that down to 2 servings is a difference, right? So just even understanding how those things work. And the other side of it is, sometimes those habits, right, impact the systems that are part of your life.
Yeah.
The way you shop can become a system that allows the habit that you want to change or to take over in this detox period to actually take hold. And to activate the best version of yourself is getting that clarity around those habits, getting that clarity about what you fuel your body with, which is important, right? And then that's allowing you a space to like show up the way you want to show up in the world. So
yeah.
Awesome.
I think the biggest habit that you should start establishing beyond the detox, that starts with the detox though, and we found ourselves doing as we kind of weaved our way through our grocery shopping this morning, was reading labels. Reading labels will probably be the biggest eye opener that you'll experience on this detox, because if for no other reason, some of the biggest offenders, sugar is, in my opinion, the top offender that you don't even expect in a lot of the foods that you consume. A lot of savory foods, for example, a rotisserie chicken, a spicy nut mix, salt and pepper potato chips.
Tomato sauce.
Yep.
Yeah.
Broth, one of the biggest offenders.
Yeah.
All of these items that I listed, not every brand of these items, but many brands of these items have sugar in them if you're not looking. Again, so biggest habit to instill from the get-go, but also keep in your life beyond the detox, if it's not eye-opening enough during the detox, is reading that label.
Reading the labels. Reading the labels eliminated so many things that we might have put in here. I'm gonna keep talking about my base because I think that's important. Where you come from and how the people where you grow eat matter.
Yeah.
In the Caribbean, we use sauce. We make a gravy with everything, but we make that gravy, so we know what the ingredients are and going into it. But if you're using seasoning or tomato sauce or tomato paste and those things that have sugar, that's where you'll find your trouble. So being able to find the right ingredient to make the things you make normally with are important. And I love a good sauce or a good condiment, and all the condiments, every sauce, and the one that killed me the most was all the hot sauce. The best hot sauce that they have, my favorite one, is really spicy. Frank's is not, no disrespect, Frank, but that's not hot sauce. I don't know what that is. That's something else. But I need a good spicy hot sauce, and most of the good ones had some version of some sugar or something in there. So in this moment, instead of using that, I would actually use just a habanero, and I will season my food or cook my food with those peppers, so that way I don't have to look for hot sauce to give me the spice that I'm looking for. So it's reading the labels and figuring out how you're going to substitute some of this stuff.
Absolutely. So with that said, we're going to give you some of the most common pantry swap outs to substitute for the no list items that you're so used to consuming. And I mean, for a lot of people, it truly feels like when they're on the detox at the very beginning that everything is off limits. But in reality, so much is at your fingertips. You just have to think differently about how you approach it. So with that said, let's look at our most common things that we have to swap out here. Dairy, most common for most people. We are a dairy saturated society here. Any kind of non-dairy milk here. Let me just say that this was the most challenging one to fit in the detox because a lot of these, unless you're making your own almond or rice milk or cashew milk, have other ingredients in them. We decided to go with the Trader Joe's organic unsweetened almond beverage, and that was one of the best ones. So we chose that one for the detox. Listen, you shouldn't lose sleep over this. If you have to actually make a resignation on one item in your detox, that's not the end of the world. So keep that in mind. So almond milk was what we chose for that. Oat, rice, hemp, other great options here. Oils, unrefined oils is what we're looking for here. Most commonly put oils in everything. Olive, obviously, canola, sunflower, vegetable oil, all of these, many of these are hydrogenated oils, and we want to eliminate those for the most part. So great option for this, coconut oil. I loved the avocado oil for the spray, and I use that for any kind of baking that I choose to use, or if I want to make something on a non-stick skillet. So those are what I chose. Also ghee, great option as well.
I made some beef tallow.
I was just gonna share that because I thought it was so good.
It's back here somewhere. Hold on, I can get it because it is my kitchen.
He's a baller.
So I made, I like, not that I'm going carnivore or anything, but I bought a rib roast and I cut it up to make my steaks, and I used all of the fat cap to make my own beef tallow. So here it is, purified beef tallow that I made at my own house. And I will use this as like cooking oil for things if I'm not using ghee or some version of that. So there's other things that you could do to substitute that don't show up in the list. Again, it's about knowing what's fueling your body. And if I don't like the taste, if I don't like the flavor or the feeling that I'm getting from this stuff, then I know because I know what I put in there. So it's those kind of concepts that are going back into play. We'll add it to the little section right here.
And again, just to remind you, so for your oils are serving multiple purposes. For example, you might be liquefying an oil for a sauce that you're going to make, or you might be using it to keep something from sticking to a pan. Also subbing out butter. Butter's on the no list. It's dairy. Remember that. That's a tough one for a lot of people. Okay, so moving on. Your umami salty flavored sauce experience. Salt is not off limits on the detox. In fact, you want to stay hydrated on the detox, so salt is an important component for your body holding that hydration as well. You want to drink so much extra water on this detox. Adding electrolytes is helpful as well to make sure that your body's retaining it. Soy sauce I use so much in my cooking. That was a big one for me to sub out. So your coconut aminos are a great one. Bragg's also makes a great amino as well. Some of you may already have the apple cider vinegar for Bragg's. They make a coconut amino also. So any brand there is a great swap out for that. Again, read the labels to make sure. Soy, corn, sugar, any of the oils on the no list are all very common things that are in your foods that you don't realize. Oil especially was one of the big ones in a lot of the sauces that we looked at, spaghetti sauces. So read your labels. Butter, swapping out peanut butter, peanuts on the no list for detox, any kind of other nut butter basically. But again, read the labels. Lots of them have oils on the no list and sugar. So you're looking specifically for any nut butter that is the nut and salt or no salt. That's it. That's what you're looking for. Creams, anybody who loves creamy foods. Swapping out a cream means you're going to be making your own for the most part, and most bases for that. A lot of vegan and vegetarian diets are already well versed on knowing that you need cashews, raw, unroasted, unseasoned, or salted to make any kind of sauce.
Give me the quick way. Like 10 seconds or less, how do I make a cream with this?
A cup of raw cashews, hot water on top, soak it 30 minutes or more. Then you're gonna add in any kind of garlic, lemon juice, salt, pepper, blender, done.
That's it.
Creamy sauce. Yep, I like that you asked that like that. Swapping out our gluten, bread, wheat. This is such a tough one for so many people. Who doesn't love a soup with a big hunk of garlic bread alongside it? This honestly was one of my toughest ones, or a salad with croutons. We are used to having gluten or bread or consuming on pasta for so many things. That's a big part of our diet here in America, at least. So this was a big swap out for a lot of people. For our pastas in particular, you're looking for something like a lentil, a chickpea, a quinoa pasta substitute. Again, you're looking for that organic red lentil or quinoa, and just that.
It's 3 ingredients. It's brown rice, quinoa, water and flour and quinoa flour. So that's it.
Right. The best part about pastas like this are, I kind of look at them as like protein pastas. This is going to actually give you more fill factor too, especially if you do a lentil or especially if you do like a chickpea pasta. These are going to give you a greater fill factor. Yes, the texture is slightly different. You have to give some things up. It's 2 weeks. We'll survive. Yeah. You're still getting that fill factor there.
And the thing to think about here is, what do you said it to me earlier, like, you lose nothing in 2 weeks, right? Like, if you try this and you don't love it, it was 2 weeks. You gave yourself a shot. Trying the hard thing right now, giving yourself a chance. But what are the benefits of knowing, like, think about the benefits on the other side. Oh, I spent 2 weeks and I could get a sense of how I felt every morning. I'm doing a ton of journaling right now. It's something that I'm focusing on this year.
Love that.
And my journaling is really just more like tracking. I'm going in every day and saying, what was my energy level like today? How did I feel today? What were my emotions today? They're like quick jot downs. But if I'm doing a detox or if I'm dieting or I'm doing something different, being able to say, oh, I was eating like this, and this is how I felt. I slept at this time and this is how I felt. So giving yourself that feedback and that information is huge game changer in those moments.
I love that point too so much. And I think that is the overall greater concept too in the detox, tapping into the notion of awareness. Yeah. That's awareness on every level. You're paying attention to your body, all the sensations, all of the different symptoms that you're gonna experience. We'll talk at another point at a different time about the withdrawal symptoms that you'll experience by being on the detox. And that is a real jarring experience for some people, myself included, in fact. And again, to go back to the bread component though, I don't wanna say I'm sad to share with you this, but it's a different experience if you're a big bread person for sandwiches, for, like I said, that garlic bread through soup, sopping up your favorite things. The only swap out option I have to give you is the healthiest one. For some of you may look at as the non-fun option, but it's fresh fruits and vegetables. Yeah. So what I would use bread with, I'm now gonna wrap it in a big leaf of kale and make a wrap that way instead of a sandwich.
That sounds tasty.
Yeah. So for some people that's anticlimactic. Instead of using pita bread for Indian food, that near killed me, let me just tell you. Instead of using naan or pita to dip through things, I'm using fresh cucumbers, bell peppers instead to get my hummus. Curry, I'm having just on a healthy option like cauliflower rice instead. Yeah. You have to pivot a little bit.
Yeah. It's 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks.
Starches. Gluten-free oats. A lot of people don't realize oats have gluten in them. Look for gluten-free oats. Again, we talked about quinoa, your grains. Also, you might confuse the grains with this too. Buckwheat is another option as well. I relied pretty heavily on quinoa for that. And then for starches, again, though, potatoes are safe. Try to get sweet potatoes if you can. Regular potatoes, totally fine. But sweet potatoes are great. They're just so much healthier for you and just packed with a lot more nutrients than regular potatoes.
And for all that sugar you missed, the sweet potato has some sweet. So there you go. That
Absolutely, yeah. One of my favorite snacks on the detox is a roasted sweet potato or a baked sweet potato. Cut it in half, dice up avocado, shove it in there, lemon juice, salt and pepper on top. Bing, bang, boom. You have your healthy fats. It's delicious on top of that. I dare you to try it and not like it. It's also filling too. Yeah. Great snack option on the detox and just in life in general. Moving on to sweeteners. This is probably the toughest one for a lot of people. Once you start realizing how much sugar is in so many things, suddenly we find our bodies craving that sweet even more. Honey and maple syrup are off the table. For me, I know, that was a tough one for me because it's natural. You're like, what the hell? Yeah. You want a low glycemic index sweetener. So that's gonna be for most of us stevia. Here's some good options. You can get stevia almost anywhere. I don't love it, I'm not gonna lie, but it's 2 weeks, okay? Yeah. So just hunker down, get your stevia. Also, Greggy was talking about monk fruit as another option. When I make my chilies and I want that little sweetener component, because I would ordinarily in a lot of my chili recipes add just a touch of maple syrup to sweeten it a little to balance that acid in the tomatoes. I also cook down Majol dates, which you can get almost anywhere, so.
The other thing to think about is this, and this is like a fun funny thing to think about. I had a good friend who loved coffee, but he was like, I don't put anything in my coffee. And when he was talking to me about it, his idea was that coffee has a taste. And when you get these different roasts and you get these different flavors of coffee, once you put sugar and cream in it, then all your coffee just tastes the same, right?
Yeah.
So the difference is getting used to understanding that these different ingredients or the different foods have their own taste and flavor. When we put sugar on them, we're sort of masking the original flavor. So even getting your taste buds the habit of saying, no, this is what this tastes like, and there can be a joy in that too, right? So getting to a space where, like, I know we're not doing caffeine necessarily on this, so that's probably the bad habit. Now I'm telling you about coffee in this space, but there's a bunch of things that you have. If you don't have sugar in them, all of a sudden they have another flavor, or there's an opportunity for another taste for you to get, and that might be actually more enjoyable than dumping a bunch of sugar in it.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest to kind of piggyback on that sensations rather, that I experienced from the detox was, if you stay true to the detox and you adhere to it strictly on the detox, you will notice flavors tasting more powerful to you, and you may notice slight changes in your palate after that. It's really interesting. It's cool. Okay, moving on. We talked about monk fruit extract, measurable dates, stevia for your sweeteners. There are a lot of sauces or flavor sensations that are still safe on a detox, like wasabi, or approved on the detox rather, not safe. Mustard, if you look at the label. Soy-free, dairy-free pesto. Look, the easiest way to have a safe pesto on the detox is making it. And that's not hard. I have an easy chopped basil pesto recipe that I make. It takes 2 seconds on the cutting board. You don't even need a blender. And I have that on my social handle too. I can tag this in this video as well for you. It takes 2 seconds to make. It's one of the healthiest, easiest pestos you'll ever make, and it's detox approved, and it's delicious. Drinks. So no caffeine, no alcohol, no artificial sweeteners. That is cutting out the vast majority of our population's hydration, isn't it? So I'm a ritual person. I love my warm beverage in the morning. Yeah. On the detox, it can feel like a cold experience at first. You're gonna have your detox shake if you're doing the Lifetime Detox, using the Lifetime Detox shake mix. That's not the same at all to me. So I ended up relying very heavily on decaffeinated teas that were detox approved, or a hot cup of water with lemon juice squeezed in. And I found that fixed that void for me for the 2-week time period that I was on it.
Yeah, that's why I was going back to that idea. Well, I should have used tea as the example instead of coffee. When I was thinking about like honey or sugar, I'm used to adding honey to my tea. It makes it sweeter, but also it's a good thing for your throat or whatever. But that sweetness also helps if you're not like a big tea drinker.
Yeah.
Now taking that away, you're actually going to taste the flavors of the tea. So making sure that you're watching, again, reading your labels, making sure that you're getting things that are approved, probably from a sugar standpoint, because a lot of those flavored teas have that. But finding the joy in those flavors actually is helpful when you get into that space of figuring out, okay, how do I get to find the taste of this and enjoy this, and then maybe not need to add sugar or anything back to it lately, in that way. We mentioned this real quick, and I'll say it. Not everyone's gonna take advantage of Lifetime. You can hit Shay or I up for our account number and discount, so we can
our QR codes.
We can get you a QR code. But Lifetime, great gym. If you don't go there, no biggie. You can go to online and you can buy their stuff. They make a detox shake. It is a plant-based protein supplement. Each serving has 22 grams of protein, 8 grams of carbs, and 6 grams of total fat. So it's not just protein. It's actually something that's going to help you stay a little more full. And then it's got stuff that is helping you from like a detox support standpoint, and your digestive wellness. And it's good for recovery as well.
That was a great way to put it. It has additional vitamins and minerals that aid your organs in the detoxifying process of the detox, which makes it different than just a straight protein shake.
And then the other thing that they offer in that detox is a fiber supplement. So it's adding fiber sort of consistently to your diet, but just in ways. It's you would find, reading the labels, you start to understand how many things don't have just like natural forms of fiber in them.
Yeah.
Fiber is so good for you and your gut to help you, move smoother throughout the day. But some people take to this really well. I know you didn't have the greatest experience on this, but finding ways to get your fiber, whether it's through a natural way. The reason why people would use a supplement like this one, finding your way to supplement, there you go, your nutritionist supplementarian here. Finding a way to supplement fiber oftentimes is something people need. There's, whenever you see something is being used as a supplement, it's telling you that the foods that you naturally eat, they don't have it in there. And they should, but they don't really have it in there. So the fact that you have to supplement supplement fiber is telling you, if you read your labels, you're not seeing the levels of fiber you have, and we are actually under vitamin D, under fibered, right?
Under
a lot of stuff.
Under so much.
So supplementing that, 1 scoop a day. I started making a shake with the fiber and this for the morning, and then just the protein shake on its own after that. But finding ways to get that stuff out, because it's not the best tasting thing immediately. But when you start to find ways to fill it in, it's actually pretty good. And this one is actually the unflavored fiber, so just adding it to stuff. Though it's unflavored, it has a taste. Okay,
it has a texture.
Yeah, a texture is probably the best way to say it.
If you just stir it into savory things, though, I found that that's masked pretty well.
That's why I put it with that. That's why I do it with the shake. So then that way I'm sort of getting that out of the way immediately, and I know that's done.
Some quick hacks to save you. The headache of having to navigate all of this and wonder what's safe and what's not. This is not an advertisement or an endorsement of Trader Joe's, although a lot of their things fall very well in the detox. Let me try that again. This is not an advertisement or an endorsement of Trader Joe's, but a lot of their items fall really squarely into the detox. They are approved and they're good for you. The almond milk, like we said, the unsweetened almond milk was better even than some of the other ones that we checked out. Trader Joe's coconut milk, I've talked about this before on my socials. This is the only coconut milk that I have found that is pure straight coconut milk, and it's organic too on top of that. So I always get my coconut milk from Trader Joe's. Same concept on the broths. Sugar sneaks into our broths all over the place. Low sodium, oftentimes, if anything says low sodium, a lot of times to offset the flavor, sugar is added instead. So I always get my broths from Trader Joe's because their ingredients are just whole foods ingredients, no sugar added. It's pure.
Their organic bone broths are the same also. So you can use the organic bone broth. These are just the chicken broth, but the chicken bone broth or the beef bone broth, the same thing, no sugar in them, which is pretty awesome.
A quick hack for cooking, for those non-cooks out there that this is like a daunting process for you. I love buying the rice in the frozen section at Trader Joe's. You can get brown rice, a rice blend, a jasmine rice, and I think there's one other that I'm forgetting right now off the top of my head, but basically it comes with 3 packets in here. So if you're on a budget, this wouldn't be the most, it's not expensive, but it wouldn't be the most budget-friendly option as opposed to buying a bag of rice instead. Will give you more servings. But if you're not a cook and making rice just seems daunting or annoying to you and you just won't do it, do this. It's easy, it's quick, it's pure plain rice. Already cooked, you just throw it in the microwave.
It's actually my mom is totally against this process of rice, but sometimes I feed it to her, she don't know, but she eats it without a problem. It's pretty good actually. So for a big rice eater, it works. It does a good job.
I would never mess with your mom. No. So that's a bold thing to claim.
If I cook it, she don't see it. I had to sneak it in the plate, but it's good jasmine rice and it actually works out. I would have been a snob about it, but actually it's pretty good, so it works out.
Some regular staples that I just have on hand and go through like water, if you will, on the detox are always avocados for that good healthy fat. Often contributes to a little saucy flavor on any of my salads that I'm making with a little lemon juice, salt and pepper. Bananas are going to be your binder in most of your shakes, so get the bananas on hand for the shake. And for those snackers out there,
this was a big one for me. I can't wait to taste this actually.
Yeah, one of the only chips that I found that were detox approved because of the oils, if you're wondering, but then also some because they have sugar in them, even the savories again, is this potato chip. And you can get these locally here. We're in Jersey here, but you can get these at a lot of different supermarkets out there. It's the Boulder Canyon Company. Their salt and pepper potato chip is not detox approved because it has sugar. So you do have to read, say it with me everybody, the labels, right? But this is potatoes, avocado oil, sea salt. We're gonna try them right here too. What all the hubbub is about. And if you're like a Ripple fan, these are so good. They're hearty, if you will.
I'm a wavy glazed enthusiast, so I'm really excited about this.
I love these.
Oh wow. Yeah. 14 chips is a serving, 160 calories. That's like 3 cups of popcorn, but we can't have popcorn. So yeah, see, I'm mourning all these things, but actually, this is a pretty good find. This tastes really good. Okay.
And these are a regular staple in my pantry anyways now, not even just for the detox. They're delicious, but also it's a way to keep a little bit of consistency too and not just go back to all of the no's right away, right?
I have a question for you about snacks, right? Snacking is really hard. anyway, and I think people have a hard time figuring it out. Now, when we were shopping, we were grabbing a couple things. We talked about the whole cashews.
Yep.
Unsalted, unroasted to make creams. But we can snack on roasted, salted pistachios.
Totally, as long as there's no other ingredients added in.
Okay.
Absolutely, and again, read the labels.
Read the label. That's it. That's gonna be the answer.
I know you all want to hear me now.
Now, can I get roasted, salted cashews for snacks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything.
But for a cream, you want it. You don't want the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not. I mean, look, you can get away with it. It's just it will affect your flavor if you want a blank canvas for the sauce you're making.
There you go. That makes sense.
And also, if it's already roasted, that's going to be a lot harder to make creamy when you blend it. It's going to have a little bit more of like a splitting sensation to the sauce.
Okay. That makes sense. Look at that. We're dealing with a chef, a photographer, and a trainer. She don't mess around. She does all this stuff. This was fun. Any other tips that we want to leave with anybody else? Fruits we talked about already, but fruits are good. Frozen fruits are great. I'll make sure we insert some of the stuff from the actual shop that we did, and some of those things will land in there as like different pockets of stuff that we can talk about. But I think the biggest things are read the label, right? Make that a part of your habit. How you shop, like what you actually have in your kitchen will help you. I'm thinking of how I can like meal prep with some of this stuff. So I would want to make like maybe I'm making a bunch of lentils and having some meals laid out. If I'm gonna make a whole organic chicken, I might have lentil. Look at this is a quick meal. It's the lentil pasta, a little pasta sauce, and a good protein next to it. All of a sudden, I'm already covered for a couple of meals, and that could be something, right? Using this quinoa pasta to do the same, or the rice and chicken to do that, or rice. So there's mixtures of things you can make, but prepping it and having food on hand will save you from it. But if it's not in your kitchen, guess what? Then you don't have the option to eat some of those things that really bug you out in those moments. And again, it's 2 weeks. Right? You can do anything for 2 weeks, right? 14 days, give yourself a chance. And the reintroductory is a different conversation. I'll bug you. Maybe we'll talk about it in that.
Yeah, and it's one to really not overlook.
Don't overlook
I want to
the reentry.
stress that for people.
Yeah. I'll tag the video, the podcast episode that we did where she talked about all those pieces, so you can see that there too. But we felt like this made it feel more complete. If you're a visual learner, right, being able to see like what this shop was. And when I look at this was maybe, I think it was what, $100 for at most for this stuff. It wasn't too much more than this. Maybe a little less than, because we bought a couple other things that are not on camera. Okay, all right. We bought some cheat stuff in there too, but that's for later.
We're not detoxing yet.
But take your time to get into it. Prep yourself. Like do a good shop so you have some stuff, and a lot of the stuff you'll have for longer. If you bought coconut oil, you're gonna have that for longer than the 2 weeks. The avocado oil you'll have for longer than 2 weeks. If you have almond butter, it'll be around longer than 2 weeks. So some of the stuff that you're buying now, you'll have for longer. $100 to stock up a little bit and have some things in your fridge so you can be ready. It's good. If you can have your family on a detox too, why not? Help them out too. And I look to do this at least now, but if I could do it quarterly and sort of reset my gut and give myself another kickstart into how I'm dieting or how I'm feeling, then why not give that a shot?
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us on this journey. This was fun. Thanks for doing that.
It's always such a good time.
I mean, when you got friends, man, you listen. It's awesome when you have good friends and good people around you to keep you motivated to do things. And I'm so excited. My sister behind the camera right now too. I got family around here too.